to leave.
We invoke the Palestinians' right to resist. We remind those assembled here that academia does not operate in some special apolitical space. Israeli universities participate in human rights violations against Palestinians, and some of them, like Cruriel University, are inside the settlements. They encroach directly on Palestinian land, they violate international law, and are as such a fundamental impediment to peace. Furthermore, deliberately use academia and culture as a means of rebranding a country increasingly linked in the public imagination to its crimes against the Palestinians. We ask you to remember that boycott is a strategy, not a principle, and as such, it is a response to a call from Palestinian civil society as a way of realizing their basic rights. It is a familiar tactic, used to resist local and global injustices. We stand in solidarity with those murdered, tortured, persecuted, and oppressed in Gaza, in the West Bank, and in occupied Syria. Specifically, we remember those killed in Gaza and the West Bank this summer. The perversely entitled Operation Protective Edge. The Russian tribunal's emergency devastating resolution, using warrant evidence, war crimes, crimes against humanity, crimes of murder, extermination, persecution, and incitement to genocide. This was not a group of radicals or activists. The Russian tribunal was some of the most prolific international lawyers and academics in the world. The jury reported the cumulative effect of the long-standing regime of collective punishment in Gaza appears to inflict conditions of life calculated to prevent incremental destruction of Palestinians as a group in Gaza.
Right now, you're not
Of the Israeli state, you're not welcome to speak at Glasgow University.
You have to wait for the answer question session.
In your freedom of speech. In answer to this, we ask you,
declining him freedom of speech.
Where's the freedom of speech?
You're
all those who are
declining
inside
freedom of speech for our
all
guests.
those inside the prison. Where's the freedom of speech for all those who are inside the prisons? Where's the freedom of speech for all those students who stand at checkpoints waiting to attend school and university? The educational freedom melts away into old age and death. We invoke the Palestinians' right to resist. We remind those assembled here that academia does not operate in some special apolitical space.
Are you seriously
By inviting this man here today,
excuse me, please get out of my space.
Who's
in my space?
Israeli universities participate in human rights violations against Palestinians.
People is the enemy and justifies their destruction, including its elderly and its women, its cities and villages, its property and its infrastructure. She called for the slaughter of Palestinian mothers who give birth to little snakes. This is a member of your parliament, sir.
This is a member of your parliament calling for genocide.
Genocide. In the 19th Kisnet, she is a member of the following committees: Economic Affairs, House Committee, Committee on Foreign Workers, and is an alternative member in the Finance Committee. This ought to remind everyone assembled here that Israel is not a democracy. Those who incite genocide against citizens of their own country, unchallenged, are not part of anything like what could be described as a democratic state. So, the state of Israel now stands accused of genocide alongside apartheid and colonialism. What will it take to bring about justice? What lengths must Palestinians and their allies go to? Boycott, debasement, and sanctions against Israel and its representatives is just one method of resistance amongst many. We recall the recent attacks on Palestinian capital city of Jerusalem on the 30th of October of this year, just 2 weeks ago, for the first time since 1967. The Israel ministry closed off Alam al-Sharif, the noble sanctuary, and Al-Aqsa Mosque to worship it. A move described by Muhammad as a declaration of war.